How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have some really interesting news here today from massive companies announcing a new Bitcoin strategy to Michael Saylor doing the same thing over and over and over again. He just bought some more Bitcoin. We also have the IMF that is trying to clamp down on El Salvador for their Bitcoin strategy, and they're holding over $1 billion over their head. And we have China starting to print. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this as soon as I make them. Also, if you want to trade crypto, there's a link underneath the video to BTCC. There you can start trading in just a few minutes, and you get 10% deposit bonus on your first time deposit, along with 40% lower trading fees. Of course, make sure you do your due diligence and make sure you understand what leverage trading is and the risks of leverage trading and using centralized exchanges. But if you do want to trade, there is this link underneath the video. I've been doing it and I really like leverage trading. You can make a lot of money very quickly. Just, make sure you understand that you can also lose it quickly. But I just placed another leverage trade just now, actually. And as you can see, Bitcoin right back at this support line that we've seen it hit several times and bounce off of. Of course, we could always fall further down, but this seems like a classic beginning of the week shakeout, not really like a capitulation event where anything bad's happening. It just seems like people are trying to shake the market, get some liquidations, cause some fear, then move back up, in my opinion. But of course, I don't have a crystal ball, so we'll have to continue to watch. We have seen the whole market draw down a little bit today. You have XRP down, Ethereum down, Bitcoin down. Everything's pulling back a little bit here today. Solana down. And there's still just a lot of good news. Michael Saylor just acquired another 21,550 Bitcoin for about 2.1 billion. So this is the fourth week in a row that they've been able to get billions of dollars to go buy Bitcoin. They achieved a Bitcoin yield of 43.2% quarter to date and 68.7% year to date. And now they hold 423,650 Bitcoin acquired for 25.6 billion, or about 60,000 per coin. Now, this means that they have 2% of the supply that will ever be created. They have more than that when you consider that there is a good amount of the supply that's lost as well. It might be closer to 2.5%, but right now they do have over 2% of all the Bitcoin that's ever been and ever will be mined. Now, I think they're going to buy a lot more over the coming years, and they said that they're going to try to do $42 billion worth of buys. I think they're around 15 million or so in the last 6 weeks, I think. So the fact is they're probably going to outpace what people expected, and they don't seem like they're slowing down anytime soon. Now, some people love Bitcoin. Some people are fighting against Bitcoin. El Salvador apparently is being told by the IMF that if they want this $1.3 billion loan, they have to make acceptance of cryptocurrency voluntary and not mandatory. So it's not going to be legal tender. It has to be something that companies can accept but don't have to. So IMF basically trying to hold a gun to Nayib Bukele and El Salvador, saying, hey, if you want our money, you have to do it by our rules. Now, I don't know if Nayib Bukele is going to take this deal. If he does, I think it would be pretty funny if he just took this $1.3 billion and said, screw you, and then just bought Bitcoin anyways. But it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out, if they do take the money or not. China is going to ease monetary policy to moderately loose for the first time since 2010. I didn't realize that it's been that long since they had a loose monetary policy, but obviously the U.S. is still loosening its monetary policy. It's been pretty strict, pretty tight for the last few years while they try to get inflation down. China's in a different situation. They've obviously got a worse economy, in my mind, at least from the numbers that we can see, and we see that their real estate market's kind of in jeopardy, which is how a lot of people save for retirement there. So it will be interesting to see how this goes too. But the fact is, when the money printer gets turned on, Bitcoin does really well. Global liquidity goes up, Bitcoin goes up. And there are going to be more and more countries that are in this situation. And keep in mind, too, a lot of countries have been kind of tight with monetary policy. And sorry if you hear something, that's the baby sleeping for the first time in like 24 hours, it seems. But the fact is, a lot of countries have had tight monetary policy and are starting to loosen because inflation's coming down a little bit. Jobs are getting a little bit more scarce, so they're trying to even it out, which means that it's going to look good for risk on assets. Interesting thing that happened today too. Mara is this company that mines Bitcoin that has been talking and it has been announcing these offerings for senior convertible notes at 0%, and they've been able to buy hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. The last time they had $850 million offering. This is upsized from $700 million. This is a week after they had a different offering. I think it was for $500 million. So this mining company figured out, well, we can get access to really cheap capital, really cheap debt, and they're not the only ones. Now Riot is saying that they're going to raise $500 million for senior convertible notes. They're going to go buy Bitcoin and use it for general corporate purposes. So basically, they saw Mara raise over $1 billion in about a week, and they said, we want in on this. We are going to get in as well. And they are going to go buy some Bitcoin too. And this is after there's another company. I can't even find it now, but there's another company that said, should we buy Bitcoin? And I think it was a mining company too. And yeah, they're most likely going to do the same playbook. Riot, Mara. It seems like a lot of these crypto miners are going to do this. And it makes sense because this is the part of the cycle where you want a lot of Bitcoin. And with miners becoming less profitable after the halving, I think people are starting to get to the point where they're thinking, we really see nation states coming in. We see states coming in. We see a lot more competition. It's not just a few multi-billion-dollar companies anymore mining. It's going to be people with unlimited wealth, unlimited resources. So maybe it's better to be a Bitcoin holding company as opposed to just a miner. So I'm guessing some of these companies will pivot their strategy away from Bitcoin mining, or at least like they'll still do mining, but they're really focused on the treasury part. Iran apparently is going to embrace Bitcoin and crypto with a regulatory framework instead of banning them. This is coming from the Minister of Economic Affairs. First Russia, then China, now Iran. BRICS countries are coming. And David Bailey has given us a little idea or some reassurance that there are going to be a lot of countries that are buying Bitcoin. He says at least 4 new countries have greenlit a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is happening. G7 of Bitcoin has evolved from a joke to serious concept very quickly. Bitcoin superpower is a very powerful meme, and there's just not enough Bitcoin for everyone to be one. Are you in or out? And Dennis Porter says the next 2 weeks will be insane for Bitcoin. I can confirm that I'm aware of at least 3 huge announcements coming. I will be sharing more the moment I can. He said that there's something big coming this week with a ton of reporters. They're going to cover it. Something about a strategic reserve. So this shakeout, I'm not worried about. This little red wick. People getting worried because Bitcoin went under 98,000. Fact is, I'm buying. I'm going long right now. I think this is a great time to be in the market. I think we're going to have fireworks over the coming months and over the coming year. Of course, when we move up, though, I will be taking profit. So make sure you do your own due diligence. Make sure that you are comfortable in your positions and your position sizing. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Sorry if I seemed a bit all over the place. The news is all over the place, and I'm running on low sleep. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Again, if you want to check out the link to BTCC, there's a link underneath. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next one.